Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? So, before I wait for all of you, uh, I just had a little bit of spit on my lip. Okay. Anyway, I see Scott. Hi, Samurai Yoko. You are leaving all the comments on my every video now. Yes, Samurai Yoko. Yes, Yoko, you're the greatest. Yes, thank you. Man, I feel hot or warm somehow. It's been a little bit warm here in Japan, by the way. Today is the last day of this warmth, I think, and immediately it'll drop down like dramatically. But yeah, it's been a little warm, and so my like body is having a hard time adjusting. I don't even know what to wear. But anyway, I wonder if Kamala Harris has documents in her basement too. I know, right? Hi. Hello. How are you? How are you guys? So as you may or may not have seen, ta-da! You see the picture. Why isn't the picture Kishida and Biden together? Maybe they didn't have it on in time or something. I don't know. But this is from the 14th, so for you 13th Friday. But Japan US alliance, right? Deterrence ability strengthened. I'm so bad at pointing. Summit meeting, a joint statement announced. And here, against China, we are feeling threatened. And what else? National accelerated. So national security cooperation accelerated and stuff like that. So it's the usual things. What was unusual though was that usually, especially after emphasizing the strong Japan-US alliance and how we are strengthening our relationship and all the system to protect each of our countries and so forth, and even economy, we expect the regular custom, which is to have a joint press conference after our summit meeting, and it didn't happen. Okay, Kishida, Prime Minister Kishida, it's his tour, that started off with, I think it was Paris, right? So he flew to Italy, France, Italy, and the UK and Canada, and then the US. So it's a tour, and the last one is, of course, the best one in the most important country, the US, and it's mutual. The Biden administration has been welcoming our revisement, a revision, when it on our national security documents, and we are totally on the same page and celebrating each other's shift and so forth. And so, of course, we expected that there will be a joint press conference. And I did see Kishida talking to the press just by himself without Biden. He was answering questions from the press alone after the summit meeting. It was really odd. And the reasons are not very, we don't know the reason why, the White House hasn't said anything, I think, as far as I know. And the Japanese side says that it's due to the schedule and so forth. We know that he's hiding. We know that Biden is hiding from the press. What is his priority? I don't know. He could I think he could avoid like, oh, let's not speak here, about that here because we have a guest. Like there are many ways to avoid that, I guess. Like even if he's asked about the classified documents. I don't know how things are in America, but that he's hiding, and it's making America look even weaker, like we know where Biden stands in American politics or American society, but still, like after saying, verbally, we heard all the great things about, oh yeah, Japan US alliance and our military is awesome and our economy will grow together and that sort of thing. So, like after hearing that, so they don't show up together to the press. Meh. It's degrading America, in my opinion. That's not good. And that makes our country look bad too, like we are dependent on America. Of course, it's not a good thing in a way, like we should get militarily independent, but that's something that America has avoided or like prevented us from for a long time, especially after World War II. But yeah, it's what do you guys think? It's weird. It's been a little warm here too. Oh, really? Hello, hello. I'm visiting New York City. It's cold here. I bet it is so cold there. I don't know how people can live in New York. Lots of snow, and people have all this fantasy about New York, but I, I I've seen or watched all these videos of the current New York, like especially subway and so on, and it's pretty scary. I must admit. And I watch lots of entertainment of the US, like on Netflix usually. And New York is when the characters talk about New York, it's about the smell like being bad and like it's like all the bad like negative things that I hear. And I used to think like, oh, maybe it's exaggerated. I realized that it's not the case over the past years. Hmm. But it's cool that you're there though. Like you have to protect New York, from all the threats. Which US state is high in the middle and round on both ends? Ohio. Ohio. Man, do you guys know a Japanese man, like a YouTuber named Daijiro? He just published this an hour long video to explain like English pronunciation. It's I only watched like a 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes or so, but it's so fun. uh, the pronunciation, like how to pronounce and how it's different from our language and what we need to be aware of and so on. Like I need to watch the whole thing. He's funny. As a Japanese citizen, I too am concerned about how serious Prime Minister Kishida is about the pro-China situation. Pro-China situation? To begin with, the fact that the media is not releasing moving images of JOE? Joe, you mean Joe Biden and Kishida must be because they want to hide something. Oh, like they are both hiding something about Biden's classified documents, or I didn't fully get what you were saying. Sorry. Hello, Yoko. It appears that the Democrats are now turning on Biden. Yes, I see that. I see that shift. Yes, it's scary though. Like they were using Biden for the past few years, right? For their benefits. And I guess that in the meantime they were finding the best way or best person to go with anyway because Joe is too old, right? And yeah, it's like it's scary when they turn their back on their former friend. Like it's like betraying, they're betraying it really quickly. And as someone coming from another country, I have to be aware that, oh, America does stuff like that, like we, like not, it's not all the time the Republican Party takes the power, so we have to be ready for like the Democratic Party administration, just like right now. And they do that to their own people, so like own leader. So as someone from another country, like have to know that side of America too, that this can happen. Like it's so crazy that they had all this information, like of course they knew that, I bet that they knew that about the classified documents and all the negative things about him, all the scandalous topics about him, but they just kept it hidden, until now. And now is the time to just bomb, like be make it as a bombshell or whatever it's called, and let it explode right now so that they can get rid of them. And that's the move that I am seeing. I don't know how hardcore that will be though. Like I'm from another country and I can't really tell, but yeah, I see that happening. It's scary. And I think that they are getting ready for the house, right, like a house committee, what is it called, oversight committee. They're gonna investigate Hunter Biden's case and everything, so they are, I guess they are getting rid of all the threats beforehand. Hi, Yoko. Greetings to all from the country of the living sky. I think our elected politicians are incompetent and the electorals are insane. What is your taking on this, though, Yoko? Incompetent? What is that word? Sorry, my still like no. Oh, okay. I think the politics in general is just crazy all the time, and it's not only about politics, this is not a characteristic of politics, it's just human nature. Like if you look at business field, it's more intense, I feel. Like for their benefit, for their money, it's more like, of course politicians are as greedy, they can be as greedy, but like it's more like when it comes to business, it's all about themselves. So I have no idea what it's like to be among especially the rich corporations and so on, but I guess that people when it comes to protecting or trying to grow the interests that they have, people can be very nasty and they find a way to do like find a way to get what they want in whatever, like by doing whatever it takes. So that's what I'm learning gradually, being in the political field. And often, the least relationship that you expect would happens. Like sometimes people are friends, like those who are expected to be against each other can be friends or vice versa. And so it's I guess that it doesn't matter if they are elected or not. It's just how people are. So considering that, I think that we should be more like knowledgeable. Like we should learn more about psychology and so on, and like how our minds work, and that would help understanding politics, I feel. Because like see, if you look at Putin, for example, like it's so hard to read him because he's so different from us and his standards are just messed up, just like, same for Xi Jinping. Like the values of them are so different. And so if you find something that is crazy and you don't have the same standards, it's just that their values are different. And so, yeah, we gotta the world sometimes is smaller than you think, but sometimes it's way bigger than you think, that there are many things or the worlds that you don't know. So that's how I feel. Hi, Yoko. Hi. Did Biden leave your prime minister by himself? Basically, I mean, like it's not in a rude way, I just, we expected that they would have a joint press conference just as usual this time, but without any concrete reason. Like, Biden just didn't do that. Like we didn't see that happening. It's not normal, Usually it's a summit meeting and then um, there's a joint press conference following after that. To agree to your chat guidelines. Oh yeah, I put a new guidelines just because like it was recommended. If you have a YouTube channel, you should have see like the new revenue thing that you need to agree to. Like I did that earlier. It's about like short videos being monetized starting from February, and so I did that, and altogether, like I looked at the chat thing because I realized that some people's comments, like I see my like comments here, and I'm using StreamYard, and sometimes like some comments are not reflected, and I looked at YouTube and I realized that the YouTube was like excluding in a way, like it's stopping from being published before I check it to like because it's the expressions are violent or whatever. So you look happy, husband son. My husband like right in front of me, he's standing, my husband is standing right in front of me, and he's drinking his coffee in a Japanese way. That's the Japanese way, I think. Like I don't see Americans doing like, for example, like if you drink coffee, you just drink coffee and like put down your mug cup and so on, right? Japanese people, we're like it's both hands. It's not always with both hands, but we can be like both hands drink and like, we taste everything, not just the taste of coffee but the feeling and like yeah, mindfulness. Anyway, liberal eat themselves, that's scary. Oh yeah, about Biden. They only want Biden to speak from teleprompt because otherwise he goes off talking about kids touching his hairy legs in the pool. Yes, like I feel bad when he is talking and then he walks off, like wanders off somewhere. Like I've seen that happening. It doesn't benefit anyone, except for our enemies. So that should be, yeah. I don't think that he should run next time, for that reason. I'm not be surprised if the Democrats engineered the notification of these documents in order to provide a pretext to take Biden down so he doesn't run again. Yeah. Sneaky joke. Just so you know, some Japanese people, those who are familiar with politics, especially about America, like we know about all the creepy side. We see all the internet meme, and it's like it's not the memes, but like we hear about it, and there are people, especially like there are like hardcore Trump supporters in Japan. Some are religious, like literally religious, and yeah, and they import all this information, regarding the America in general, and they often talk about all the dark side of Joe Biden too. So we are familiar with what's happening. Yeah. Speculation is they want to get Gavin Newsom in as vice president by removing Joe and making Kamala VP. Hey, Gavin? 誰だっけ? I forget. Uh, 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 what? Is it someone I know? I wonder. No, I don't know him. Gavin Newsom. I'll check him out. Man, if if Kamala becomes the president, I don't want to imagine that. But she would be like, I can't tell if she has her own agenda, like let's say, for example, Obama, he was a true like communist, right? Like he has his agenda, he has strong belief about white people and capitalism and everything, and he has his agenda, he has his own policies, like by his own. But Kamala Harris, like I know that she promotes political correctness, but I don't even know if she is a believer of that. Like I can't tell if she's saying that all sorts of like liberal things to be liked or supported by her supporters, like, or does she really believe in that sort of things? Like I can't tell. The US has an unfortunate history of losing interest in foreign adventures. In a way, having a base in Okinawa makes the US more committed to Japan's defense regardless of who is in power. Good point. And the one of the problems has been that America, of course, doesn't want to lose their people, like including soldiers and their families. So basically, they're trying to move those people as much as they can from Okinawa right now, and so they are changing the formation of the base, like in because the area is like, so Okinawa and Guam and Hawaii, so all together like they're moving things around to protect American soldiers and their families and everything. So it does affect, it's good, like if the coordination is good, that's all what matters. But at the same time, like there comes all the byproducts of that, so we have to be careful. トランプ好きなんだけど、安倍さんあってのトランプだから。Really? For me, that's not the way I think. But I've read that Philippines is exploring leasing the Subic Bay naval base to the US again. It will keep us closer. Oh, the place that the US left and then the China took over, or I don't know. My husband is not very committed today. Subic Bay どこだこれ？スービック湾。
スービック海岸北フィリピンにあるやつ。
うん。にアメリカがバックしてきた。Good. いいことですね。Very good.
スービック海軍基地とクラーク空軍基地はフィリピンにある巨大なアメリカ軍の基地なんだけど、ベトナム戦争の拠点だったのに、フィリピンが出ていってさよならって言ってね、アメリカも早く帰れさよなら。そしたら中部分の南シナ海ダーって。
だよね、そこだよね。
フィリピンがやっぱり帰ってきた。
Philippines. Yes, yes, yes. That's a famous story here in Japan. Like, yeah. So that's why, like, that's the Philippines case is actually what conservatives here use to explain that, if the US base is out of Japan, then China will come invade us. That's the good example that has already happened. So, yes. When Kamala becomes president, she can nominate Gavin Smith. Oh, yeah, I read that. Same thing. Interesting. Biden is a puppet. Democrats used to use Biden to sign executive orders. Biden is not in his right mind and doesn't know what he's signing. Yeah, I don't think he knows. Yeah, like Biden is I don't know him too well, but from the impression that I have of Biden is that he's more about his seat as the president, than the what he does, So that's interesting that even among the Democratic Party, there are people like Obama, but there are people like Biden, like very different, right? And it hasn't been that long. And yes. Hi, Yoko. Have you seen anything about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis? He's our next president. I know the conservative people love him. Yes. And yes, I'm very interested in, what he's going to do. Yeah. And my biggest concern, or what I'm watching out for, is like the relationship between Trump and DeSantis, because Trump is trying to get all the support from the Republican Party. It was represented, or in the House Speaker votes, that Trump was there behind the scenes, and Marjorie Green Marjorie Taylor Green, was it? So Green, she was in the middle, connecting, basically becoming the bridge of like Trump and McCarthy type people. And yeah, so, and Trump would push somebody else, like, if based on his political thoughts, but he didn't. And that just shows that he's aiming for the next election. That's how I see, from here. I don't know if I'm right, but that's what it looks like. That Trump is trying to hold the Republican Party, all together. And but DeSantis is there too. So yeah, and I know that their relationship right now is not very good, at least like as far as I can tell from the public information. Hmm. Supreme Court is considering some cases soon which could significantly impact how big internet companies engage in censorship. Really? That's very interesting. Sniffing the coffee. Yeah, not sipping but sniffing. Uh, NHK won't report on the Brandon docks being found on CCP operated buildings in University of Pennsylvania. No, NHK was, I don't know, at least I saw in English, like the NHK World was reporting that. I haven't checked NHK, like the Japanese television version. Maybe there's a delay, because our media is biased, but not that biased when it comes to like politics overseas. It's not that biased. Like, of course, the narrative that they use is just directly imported from media overseas. But yes, okay. Oh, super chat! Thank you. Keep fighting, and congratulations to Japan for having your first new aircraft carrier since World War II. Now, to properly remilitarize Japan, that means everyone. Thank you so much. Yes, super chat. I can't live without super chat. So thank you. Like, all this support means a lot to me. This is what I do, so it really helps. Thank you. Always do. Like, always. Like, you give me super chat always. Thank you so much. Yes. We need to remilitarize. Yes. As I might have said before, the public opinion of Japanese people have changed after the war in Ukraine. Like people realize that we need to have a strong military to protect our country. You know. So,
ところでね、
by the way,
トランプ以外の候補者はいつ頃誰かにお乗りはあるんですか？
my husband is wondering. He has a question for you guys. He's wondering if there's any candidate from the Republican side, aside from Trump,
2番目に誰
like the second candidate after Trump. Like, is there anybody from the Republican Party that's gonna run for the presidential election?
次に言うやつが楽しみ。
So the next person that says, that announces that he or she will run, that is very like
トランプに対抗して、
yeah. That'll be like yeah, I'm gonna defeat Trump, right? So
誰
yeah.
がいつ言うか。
So that's about who and when. Any guess or any information do you have? Yeah. You guys drink coffee like we drink hot chocolate. Yeah, that's true. That's true. With the hands going all the way around the mug. So true. We have a term for tasting, ajiwau. And when we use the verb ajiwau, it's like we taste it, but it's more like it has the nuance of like feeling it, being mindful. So that's what we do. Biden walks around and shakes hands with ghosts. So no, that's scary. Yeah. Oh man, I saw this right wing, but at the same time left wing. Like there's this group in Japan that used to be right wing, but today I don't know what they are, but they want to be it's a political group, and they say that Japan should be like military independent, independent from America. They say that, and their tweet showed a picture of Biden, putting his arm around our prime minister, and they were criticizing how, people say that it's a symbol of a good, like, close relationship of Japan and the US, but how they read the picture of all this, like, good relationship is that Japan is the like a dog of America. Like we are a pet of America, and that's how they read the picture. And that's so like old fashioned, like we don't like our relationship, at least, like, I don't know how it was back in the day, but at least right now it's pretty equal, and even though America of course stands above us, but like treating us very nicely, and like I see the equality, and I do feel a lot of respect from the US. And there are still people like that, like they are older generation, and they say they're very hostile, even though Japan is protected by America. Like I'm like, old people, why can't you see like how the time has shifted and our relationship has gotten way better. It's there are some people that have, like, they're still living in the past. It's very interesting that people don't grow, after a certain age, maybe, or maybe it's just up to what kind of person that is. But yeah, because And they're still like, you know how rich people in the US, for example, they change all the time, right? And but what's oh yeah, Rockefeller. What's the pronunciation? Rockefeller. Rockefeller. Yeah. So there's a like a conspiracy theory, and I don't know how much of it is true, but they still use that name over here in Japan. Like some people love the conspiracy theory of Rockefeller, and they are still talking about it, even though the business field and everything, like the world has changed and it's in a new era, but they keep talking about, oh, they are dominating and blah blah blah. I'm like, keep up with the world. Yoga looks elegant as always. Yes, thank you. Nagomi, smell the coffee? No. Wait, what? Where did you get that? Gavin Newsom is the current governor of the state of California, related to Nancy Pelosi. Huh. Interesting. Kamala Harris is a placeholder. Used to be married to Kimberly Guilfoyle, Trump Jr.'s current wife. What? What? That's somebody. Please make a TV show about it. Oh man. Sometimes I watch all these American TV shows and I think to myself, like, oh, they're just being dramatic. It's TV show. It's supposed to be fun and entertaining, and it's so like supposed to be dramatic. And actually, American society is dramatic. America is such an interesting country, really. So different from here. Like, what you expect from us is, aside from the assassination of our former prime minister last year, aside from that, like, it's like we just live in the system and nobody breaks it. Like, there is no like out of ordinary things that happen here, if you know what I mean. But America is like America, and you just don't know what's gonna happen. Man, I love American people. Kamala Harris, but Kamala Harris used to be like, she has a good career, right? Former mayor of San Francisco, worse than Obama. Worse than Obama, really? Like a communist? Worst, worse. Like in what way? Kamala slept with San Francisco a newspaper magnate Willie Brown to get influence. Interesting. You guys have all this interesting takes. Yeah, the base, they asked us to leave 20 years ago. Oh yes, Philippines. Yes. Sometimes you just have to show the reality. Sometimes it's too late, but I guess Philippines made it in time. Yeah, CCP is like, when I talk to my friends from overseas, whether the US or Europe or other Asian countries or even Africa, like CCP, what we say mutually is that CCP is every country's problem. That has been like, whoever I talk to, I hear that, oh, like, oh, your country is affected by CCP too. Oh, your country is affected by CCP too. Like, that's our conversation today. That's so crazy. Philippines, Rodi Papi, Duterte, and Bongbong Soda too. The CCP never trust these members. Yeah, like Philippines and also India, like they're of course like on our side, but at the same time, economically they want help from other countries, and CCP usually gives very generous offer for them, so they take the bait. So yeah, that's where the diplomacy is, though, that our our politicians have to do better, at their sorry, at their job. Mm. What are the guidelines again? I just put like, like questions welcome, and also like don't spam. Well, yeah, especially like other channels and so on. Trump DeSantis, yes. It works in Israel and Switzerland, and Finland has a limited version. What works? I forget. Sorry, I read usually like read all the comments from 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. So sorry. Right now Trump is taking swipes at RDS. RDS is not hitting back. What is RDS? Just doing one good thing after another in Florida. DeSantis. Okay. I love Trump for everything he's done, but his time has passed. Yeah, I hear that take often online. Somebody will go, yes, Ron DeSantis. DeSantis is next. Ted Cruz is third. デサントスが多いですね。When do you think Ron DeSantis would say, like, oh, I'm running for the presidential election? When do you think he'll say that? Pence. わかるわかる。So my husband wants to make it clear that he's not asking about who you want for your president, or who you want to run. My husband is asking like who will actually raise their hand to run for the presidential election. So like it's a strategy of election of whoever will run, the candidate. So so the next guy, right now we know that Trump will run, but so the next person who says that he or she will run will be massively attacked by Trump. So like that's why we want to know like who and when. It's a courageous move, right? So who's got the ball? Or balls? Yeah. DeSantis is the obvious second one, but I do not think he will. As to the rest, we can expect a huge number of contenders during the Republican primaries. Trump has said that he wants Elise Stefanik, congresswoman from New York, to be his successor. Blinded. Liz Cheney. Oh yeah, Liz Cheney あるかな？チェニーあると思う。リズチェニーはね、パーセントでは結構上の方に来てた。上の方で 3% ぐらい。More welcome. だから対抗するために。ね。Probably DeSantis Cruz support is pretty limited, and I don't think he wants the job. I suspect DeSantis and Donnie will form 2024. It's going to be a clown show. All the new candidates. Pence is definitely turning his cannons against Trump and running for 2024. Pence って言ってる人が2人いるね。So Pence, yeah, if Pence announces that he will run next, there'll be a massive war. But then I don't think the Pence is strong against Trump, though. おー。確かに。Since my husband is very hardworking and he reads the newspaper every day. When is it from? Oh, Saturday, yesterday. This is Freedom is worth, oh wait. Freedom is worth fighting for. Ron DeSantis. Can you see? And there's the translation here too. But Trump versus Biden. DeSantis versus Biden. And here. The next, let's see. The next main character or next key player. So that's our question, right? So who's next? Am I too close to the microphone? I'm sorry. So what is this number? これは何の数字ですか？指示。
そう誰がいるか
Morning consult company. It's a so this poll is from December 31st to January 2nd, and they asked the Republican Party supporters in America, like entire America. So Trump 45, Ron DeSantis 34, Mike. Oh, you can see the face. Wait, this way. Mike Pence, Nikki Haley. Oh yeah, Nikki Haley, Liz Cheney, Ted Cruz, Abbott, Norm, Pompeo, Yang King, Tim Scott. So you'll be, yeah. But Pence comes to the third. That's interesting. ニッキー・ヘイリーはどうなの？ニッキー、ちょっと待って、発音がわかんない。ニッキー・ヘイリーの発音がわからない。スペルが。ヘイリーか。ヘイリー。Do you like Nikki Haley?
大体有名なの
Is she famous? We know Liz Cheney for a bad reason. But Ted Cruz, of course, we know. But that's interesting that Trump is still strong. Oh, but a month before that, Trump was 50%. But this poll says that it's 45, so 5% down. And in contrast, Ron DeSantis, his number was 30% before this, and this time it's 34, so 4% up. So what's gonna happen? So basically we are seeing like Trump, DeSantis is like, so Trump is higher, DeSantis is here, and then it's like we are seeing this move, and we are like, oh, is it gonna be like this? Or yeah, what do you guys think? Pence is definitely turning his gun. Oh yeah, Pence is running. I prefer DeSantis over Trump and anyone else so far. Yeah, it's I think it was a few months ago, but what I saw on TV was that the Republican Party supporters in America were saying that even though they, liked Trump, his time is over and they want something fresh, like a new generation, So I guess that does happen in politics, and especially if Trump keeps talking about the past, people don't want to live in the past. So Joe will be out by the end of February. Then Kamala will go down in flames, if not in prison within a year. Whoa. What's scary is delusional Joe has control of the entire nuclear arsenal. Yeah. Japan needs to build up its military. America is in chaos. Yeah, we're trying. うーん。たまに YouTube 英語でコメントすると、なんじゃその英語アホかとか、学校行き直せとか、ブロックリプされる日本語がThat's funny. The US has lost its way. The US is a complete disaster. The US is being destroyed right in front of our eyes. The US is rapidly becoming a shithole. You think so? I mean, it's of course the leadership of America is threatened, especially because of the rise of CCP. But America is still the biggest country in the world, the most advanced country, and like the leadership of America, it's something that's very solid. That's not shakeable, like if you look at the GDP, it's America, China, and then the third place is Japan. But it's like we're on a different digit, and our economy, for example, is a disaster, and people are becoming poor here. Like our numbers are looking good, but our salary hasn't hasn't gotten raised, so people cannot afford. Like we have higher prices, but our payment is not becoming higher, so we can't afford uh, what we want to buy and so on. So like we have our problems, and like if you focus on the problems of America alone, then you might think like, oh, America is falling, like, the US is no longer the great America and so forth. You might feel like that, but the thing is, the countries, especially all the countries on the free world side, we're all suffering right now, and we all have a problem, like a lots of problems like domestically. So it's and we do feel that our country is threatened too, and also altogether, people or countries on the free world side, we are almost like losing against the authoritarian regime countries. And so it's not, of course, America's responsibility is there, like America suppressed other countries like Japan, I have to say. And they have a leadership, so you gotta you gotta keep your position no matter what, and we will cooperate, and we will work or fight together with you, so like if you focus too much on your country, all the problems that you can see, because you're a good person, that's good hearty people do, like, oh, there are problems like this, we need to solve this and that, and then you notice all these things. But it's not only about America, it's that the free world is attacked by the authoritarian countries, and that because of CCP, especially COVID-19, the world is really affected, and all the foundation that we have built together in the international society, the rule of law and everything. My husband is so loud with the eyes to the side. um, yeah, so the rule of law and all the common values that we have established is threatened. Of course, America's leadership is weak, right? Weaker, especially after Trump was, kicked out of the office and Biden came in, and like since around that time, things, even though Trump made it like reverse the time, Biden is ruining it, but at least like I look at America from another country and I see it differently, if you know what I mean. So it's like we're all in this together, and there are a lot of things happening simultaneously. So you have to realize that CCP and Russians, they are good at propaganda, So it happens here too. Like there are so many people like among the right wings, especially internet right wings, that are praising Putin even today. Why? Because they are stupid and they are deceived by the propaganda of Putin. So of course they like or worship Putin. And in and simultaneously, when they do that, they're gonna think negatively about Japan, and so they will keep attacking Japan. Same for CCP's propaganda. Like if you believe in their propaganda, you're gonna hate your own country, and you be the rebellion. Like you will be destroying the country from within. And so sometimes people say stupid things, but that might be due to the propaganda. It's we're fighting the information war at the same time. So that's something that we need to focus on. Like what kind of information do you get? Because online, like cyberspace, is very very dangerous today, and all the bad people, even North Korea, man. Why can North Korea sustain their country amid this pandemic? Because they steal money in cyberspace, they cyber attack. So again, like all those authoritarian countries, they are very very like cunning, like they know how to get around, and they do bad stuff. So we need to protect ourselves. Yeah, Rockefeller families and their derivatives from the original still have a high level of influence. Yeah, one of our conservative people, he is friends with the current, like the one of the offspring of Rockefeller, and he posts a picture like to catch the attention from all the conspiracy theory lovers. So that's like he's mocking them. But yeah, but I bet that they have still, they have influence, but it's not like they're dominating the world. The world is not that simple. The Getty Standard Oil monopoly was in kerosene, a product not used much in the US 50 years ago. Ooh, what are you talking about? Is it a gas stove or. Sorry. Hiro? Hide, you mean? Hire one of your English speakers to be backstage as pronunciation assistant. Yeah. Yes, I need someone. なんで毎回間違うの？ Almost 20 years ago ってこの間言って。 my husband my husband just told me that it's been almost an hour, so I have to cut the stream soon. But my husband often talks to me in English, just to goof around. And often what happens is that when he when when he puts a unit after a number, it's usually like somehow he ends up with like a bigger scale. So like, what did you just say? 今何つったっけ? He said he wanted to say it's almost an hour, and he said that in English, but he said it's almost a year. Like, I'm not speaking for a year. So stupid. Isn't it awesome that I laugh at his stupid mistakes like this? It's not that funny, I know. But like it's his character. Like he's supposed to be smart, but sometimes he's just so silly that I just laugh out loud. Japan is the top 5 in the US club. Canada, Australia, Britain, and Japan are forming the top 5 US club. Yeah. The problem of Japan, though, by the way, that reminds me of Five Eyes? Is it called Five Eyes? Five eyes. Wait, what's the wait? It's not. It's a Japanese word. Five eyes. Yuxa. Yuxa sounds like a Hakata band, like my dialect. United Kingdom, United States of America agreement. Is that it? So like, well, basically, is that it? Like about the top secret thing? Yeah, like they have the treaty with like English speaking country and so on, like I can't like that sort of countries that you listed, and that just reminded me of that. And Japan is trying to get in, but our security understanding it and our system is not following well, and we're adjusting those. So we are I what was that, like we finally got security clearance for like companies and so on, and so we are gradually adjusting our system to our alliance or our friend nations. So that's good. The problem of Japan though is that we don't speak English. Like I do, but it's weird. And like even our officials, or those who work in companies, like our language of course is Japanese, so there's that barrier. So yeah, just food for thoughts. Man, these comments are from 20 minutes ago. Oh, Obama is running the the US from behind the scenes. Yeah, his influence is still huge. Don't judge America by the lunatics who control our media. Kamala Blue Willie Bush sold the slaves to gain power. Love from India. Love from India. Love from India. I received love from India. Thank you. That's a lot of love. Thank you. I've visited India, Um my history with India is that when I was 11, the fifth grade of elementary school, I had this Indian girl over at my house. She homestayed. Homestay is an English expression. Yeah, she stayed at my parents' house, like with me for a week when I was 11. And I got to meet like other Indian or Asian people that came along. Like that was what is it called in English? Like my parents somehow wanted to do that. It's they have this thing about children. We are the bridge. Oh my gosh, that looks so liberal. Let's see. I think it's this. I put the link. So basically like they have like a UN type of thing, like they, or maybe it's different. I don't know. Like it was about like a children meeting, like international children meeting, and so from Asia, I believe. I'm not sure. I was 11, but anyway, so we had an Indian girl over, and so I experienced Indian culture too. Like through her, she learned our stuff, and then so I had this like I liked India and Indian foods, growing up, and then I didn't have anything to do with India for a long, long time. But in 2019, right before COVID started, I got to go to India. But I went to Dharamshala though to visit the CTA, like Central Tibetan Government and their people. And like there was this international like support group meeting. So my husband and I, we went there to have the meeting. But so basically, we went to India and yeah, landed in Delhi and New Delhi, yeah, and so on. But anyway, man, I gotta go. No more super chat. Just kidding. Just kidding, but I'm serious. Okay. This and this. Interesting. Interesting. Full nation militarization has occurred in several countries, Israel, Switzerland specifically, and Finland to a degree. Yeah. Like what makes sense logically though doesn't get applied in to a living society, so our education is very very biased even today. During Abe administration, our education got so much better, and just society in general, like it became better, as opposed to the what we call post-war regime. By post-war I mean the World War II. We had the occupation period after the World War II, and during that period, basically our country was dissolved. So after and like our society today is based on that system, that like anti-Japan system. So Abe administration tried so hard to fix that, and we finally came to the level of uh let's say especially what's symbolic is the having the budget for national security, or like our defense budget. It's finally 2% of GDP, like NATO standards, and it took decades to come to this far. So I don't know how long it will take for us to become a healthy, like a normal nation. But yeah, that's the consequence of losing a war, losing in a war. Germany was so good at, like shifting quickly, though, like after losing the same war, but not Japan. Like Japanese people are good people, we obey. That's awful. But anyway, Nikki Haley was a governor of the UN ambassador. Yes. Nikki Haley is a globalist and not her real name. Not her real name? What? Nikki Haley is family is from India? えインド系なのうん。そう見えてくる。Trump, DeSantis, wild card is Rand Paul. Smiley face. Nikki Haley is the worst. Complete establishment shield like McConnell or Graham. Totally wedded to the welfare proposition of the deep state. Yuck. So she's like an establishment image. I see. Nikki Haley will never be president. Yeah. Love the name, by the way. My number one choice would be South Dakota Governor Christine Noem School. The Chinese are the least of America's problems. We have become a financial basket case. We will destroy ourselves with deranged domestic policy long before the Chinese could genuinely harm us. I don't think so. I don't think so. You should be more alert on what CCP is doing to you, because they take over organizations, Yeah, because that's how the World War II happened. Man, like I can't give a whole lecture, but what the their often used tactic is elite capture. Is it called elite capture? Was it the Elite capture じゃなかったっけ? I think it was elite capture or something like that. Like I don't remember the expression, but they just they know how to take over an important organization that they target, and they gradually just so-called like silent invasion happens. So the American government is more sinister than that's very American. I think that what's interesting is that in Japan, at least, conservative people, we notice when we are like under attack by CCP or North Korea or even South Korea. Like we can tell. I guess it's because of our language and race and so on. Like it's different from America, right? Like we are all Japanese and we speak Japanese, and so it's easier to detect too. But so our senses goes to the enemies from outside all the time, and it's a bigger threat to us. But when I look at American politics, it's all about, especially conservative people are all about their own rights. They want to do everything by their own, right? So they are fighting against their government constantly. And that's why, though, you can sometimes miss like the signs of silent invasion and so on. So I really like, please don't underestimate CCP. They're really like they're so smart when it comes to taking over other countries. They are doing colonization right now. They have colonized Tibet, East Turkestan, Southern Mongolia, Hong Kong. They're now going into Taiwan. And those countries are not stupid, And it's not like they didn't fight. They did fight. Still, this happens because CCP does a good job, like in this gradual shift. Man, please be careful. 1年は大げさですね。大げさでしたね。Yep, yep, 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 yep. Okay, I gotta go, guys. 1じゃないよ、10だよ。一番今今ね。Thank you for another super chat. Thank you so much. That was good for a point. Thank you so much. Okay. Your husband is funny. Yes, he is. Like he doesn't. Sometimes he is funny. Like he tries to make me laugh and so on. But oftentimes I'm laughing at him, not with him. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I gotta go. Yeah, China is threatening everywhere. Seriously, especially like developing countries. And all the Southeast Asia and Africa, they're investing so much. Scary, man. It's scary. Oh, Max Resist, thank you for super chat again. I remember you did. You gave me super chat last week too. Thank you so much. What are the influences of Judeo-Christian Zionist on Japan culture? Judeo? Is it like just Jewish? Judeo-Christian ってなんだ？ユダヤ教徒っていうんだ。そういう意味か。ユダヤ教のシオニストの影響、日本での影響。
ユダヤ人というのがね、いないよ。
In Japan, we don't have Jewish people.
だからユダヤ教会
So like we don't have Jewish like so like Jewish we don't have like Jewish people, so the religion is not here. We have Christian people and we have Islamic people like Muslims, but
限りなくゼロ
yeah, I don't think 一人しかおらんくない我々の
だ
中
ね。
で。
福岡に一人
There's one Japanese guy that we know in like locally.
ユダヤ教じゃない。
ああ、そっか。
ユダヤイスラエル
Oh,
留学
he's not a Jewish person though. He has studied in Israel and he's very familiar with Jewish Jew なんて言うんだっけユダヤ教って難しい発音なんだよね。ユダヤ。See, like I don't even know how to pronounce that.
昔一人イスラエル人が福岡に
Judaism. So yeah.
福岡このプレフェクチャーに一人ユダヤ人がいて、
There used to be one Jewish man back in the day,
でイスラエル料理店を作って、
and there was a Jewish restaurant
だけど半年で
in our Fukuoka prefecture, but after 6 months, they closed.
ユダヤ人誰もいない。
No, there's nobody here. Yeah. But we love Jewish people though, I think.
うん、
Yeah.
そうそう日本人は
うん
そうね
I think it has probably it has a lot to do with conspiracy theory too. That like somehow we end up loving Jewish people. And of course, like when we fought against Russia back in the day in early 1900, Jewish people helped us. So that's why we were able to win against Russia. So
あともう一つはフェアとか、
うん
ESB
だよね。だからその conspiracy theory だよね。Yeah, so yeah. That's one thing that's very different, I think, here. Yeah, in Japan from America, because you guys talk about Jewish people all the time. And I know that there's the aspect of like religions conflicting in the one, like under one country, you know, like you have Christian people, like the majority are Christians, of course, but yeah, Jewish people and then Muslim people and others. So, but over here in Japan, we have Muslim people too, of course. Like there are, for example, there are Uyghur people living here. They are Muslims, and we have no problems. That's because we are not Christians, you know. That our religion, our like Shinto and Buddhism, like we don't conflict with other religions like that. So, yeah. Judeo refers to the way Christianity embraces the Jewish scriptures in the Old Testament of the Bible. American criminal law takes a lot of the Old Testament of the Bible. Very difficult for me. Interesting. Man, I need to relearn all the religious stuff. I hope that I answered your question well. But yeah. Anyway, this is a weekly stream, so if I didn't, I try my best to read everything, but if I didn't answer, please ask next week. Next week, yes, I'll be here. So, no, not really, really. なんかその質問に答えてるたらよかったけど、いや答えてない。
さっきの質問。
あ、でもそれを言ってるのは違う人だけどね。よこしてーの！Remember Chune Sugihara? Oh my gosh, you know very well. Yes, we helped Jewish people too when they were oppressed by Hitler. Yes, yes. Well, Chune Sugihara released, like he published, I mean, issued all the visas for Jewish people so that they can first come to Japan and then go elsewhere. So that, yeah, was it like over 50 or 60,000? No, like 100,000. So many, so many. As good as Yoko could not knowing much about the subject. Yes, that answers your question, right? Because it's not a problem here, and yeah, and the Westerners want to think that there's a problem, but no, trust me, no, no. It's like if the person is American, then that's counted as the issue with Americans. Like we don't see Jewish people as Jewish people, so that might be it. Yeah.
いないの。
いないよね。But we just don't see Jewish people. いないよね。
アメリカにはいるって問題があるかもしれない。日本にいないから。
いないもんね。
そういう人がいない。
いない。So, yes, we don't have Jewish people. End of story, I guess. I researched the religious people last time. キリスト教。So in Japan, 48% are Shintoists, 46% are Buddhists, but like they are overlapping, so I can't say that they like Japanese people believe in more than one thing. So and then Christian only 1%, and others are only like 7 million people. So the majority of people are just like we just believe in Shinto and Buddhism. The end. But if you have additional questions, you can ask next time, I guess. So, the majority of Japanese people have never even seen Jewish people. Except on television. Yeah. Like I do all this conservative, movement, and I've いないよね。外国人でもいなくない？
韓国に一人でイスラエルから来たんだけどね。
ああ、そうだっけね。there's
体の大きなもの。
そっか。Yeah, there's only yeah. I know only one person who I met overseas. So like no. いない。道端で時計とかサングラス売ってる外人あれ11種だよって書いてる人いるけど。わかんない。いや、日本語で書いてるだけだけど。I don't know. Interesting. So your pics of you in a kimono with your husband. Thank you. Yes. 2018 when we got married. We've been married only for 4 years and a little bit. But I feel like an old couple already because we spend like 24 hours together. we are together all the time. We talk so much. You're confused by the Jewish talk. Man, I guess I'll prepare for next time to like after this I'm gonna talk to my husband to figure out the way to talk to you guys about it. Cause yeah. See, like I don't even know how to explain because it's not an issue here. Yeah. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna go now. Okay. Thank you for all your questions. If I didn't answer enough, please come back next week around the same time. Around the same time because I am random. But I hope to answer as much as I can. Okay. There are buried 1,000 true. Yeah, it's like we don't see them. Okay, thank you guys so much for coming to this stream. I really enjoy this. I always enjoy talking to you guys, and thank you so much for all your interesting questions. And please keep in touch, especially on Twitter. I tweet a lot, so follow me on Twitter at randomyoko. Also, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell so that you get a notification. Okay, okay. Bye. Very well. See you, Randomyoko. See you on Twitter. See you. Goodbye. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sumi. Good night, guys. No Twitter. Thank you so much. Okay. Bye.